Hi, this is Lou Covey from Cyber Protection Magazine, and we are talking today about small to medium businesses and their need for cybersecurity practices or best practices. And we're talking to Alan Grau, the Vice President of IoT for Sectigo. Alan, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Lou. Glad to be here.
Now, I understand that Sectigo recently did a survey related to the needs of small to medium businesses. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that survey was really aimed around web security technology for small to medium businesses, and just to try to get a feel for how small to medium businesses view their security posture. And it was really an interesting survey. And as we look at the results of that, the kind of the one resounding conclusion is that most SMBs, on one hand, will say they think they've don't have a lot to worry about in terms of security for their websites. And then when you start to dig into the details on their responses, you find out that they actually aren't being overly proactive, and in many cases are doing very little to ensure the security of their websites. And that's particularly problematic because I think the logic, if you read the report, one of the statements that's made multiple times or by a high percentage of SMBs is that they feel like they're a small target and are unlikely to be attacked. But we know that that's really not true. We see high numbers of attacks against SMBs.
Yeah, especially because from my study of the issue, the hackers, the criminals aren't looking for millions of dollars for the most part. Those are usually reserved for uh, big companies, and those are generally driven by uh, state-funded actors. But the smaller to medium businesses are actually working with common criminals, right?
Yeah, and I think the average hacker is very opportunistic. In some cases, they'll start out with a specific target in mind and work hard to try to breach that specific target. But in other cases, again, it's very opportunistic. They'll scan a range of IP addresses or scan a set of web domains and look for vulnerabilities. And the first one that they get into, they'll go in and try to dig deeper and see what they can mine from that attack. And it's really not about you know going after a specific target. It's really just finding the easiest target to penetrate.
So in your study, did you find specifics about the most common types of attacks on small to medium businesses?
Well, this was really focused around website vulnerabilities, and um, one of the things that we saw is that websites, in small to medium businesses were often vulnerable because they would be, they had a number of issues. Some were running outdated software, so the CMS solution that they were using, or the version of a web server, or the version of some of the other critical software components might be fairly outdated, or in some cases quite outdated. And it's not uncommon for a company to launch a website when they set up their business or at some point in time, and then not really go back and revisit it for 2, 3, 4 years. And so they'll be running software that's quite outdated. And over that time, there may have been known vulnerabilities that have been discovered and published, and they just haven't done anything to address those. So that's really one of the kind of the big loopholes that we're seeing.
Excellent. Well, Alan, thank you for that. And if you are a small to medium business owner, take some time to look up the survey. You can get it from the link that we're providing here on the video, and do something about your business because you are a target. This has been Luke Covey with Alan Grow. Thank you for listening. This video is a joint marketing project between Sectigo and Cyber Protection Magazine. To learn more about Sectigo services and products, visit sectigo.com. To get a discount code for Sectigo's web security platform, sign up for our newsletter at cyberprotectionmagazine.com.